Oh no. There we go. Hello there, welcome to another episode of Flash Zellow, Fiction Done Fast, the show where I take a bunch of writing prompts from my friends and turn them into one-page short stories for your entertainment. How's everybody doing today? Has everybody had a day? Has everybody had a good day? I had a day. You guys want to hear about my day? Hello. So, a couple days ago, well, over a week ago, 3 weeks ago?
I feel like it's only been like 2.
Okay. Like 2 weeks ago, my car stopped working. And it was just dead. And the hope was that it was just that the cold had drained the battery. So popped the battery out, took it to AutoZone. They charged it. They said, yeah, battery's fine. I was like, great. Took it home, plugged it in, drove around for about a week, and it died again. Battery wasn't fully dead. Like, shit would still kind of turn on. It would make a clicking noise. And at that point, we were like, oh, shit. Because this is the same fucking thing that happened to Cassie's car. So, we contact our mechanic. They're like, bring it in on Monday. Cool. We kind of explain, like, and if it doesn't start, and they're like, well, try and jump it, and if it doesn't start, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So we get up this morning, one of the first things we do is try and jump the car. Car doesn't work. Okay. So pop out the battery, take it to AutoZone to get it tested. They say, we gotta charge it first before we can test it. Okay, so come back at 2 o'clock. It'll be charged. Get back, and the guy behind the desk says, battery's bad. Need a new battery. And, we don't have any right now. So, okay. Well, we'll take the battery. Use it to...
Hope it's got enough juice to start.
Hope it's got enough juice to start and get us to the mechanic. It does. We drop it off at the mechanic, walk home, and within 10 minutes of getting back to the house, we get a call from what?
It's like a 20, maybe 30-minute walk.
Yeah, it's like a 20-minute walk. So half an hour later, get a call from Nathan, and he goes, yeah, I figured it out. I was like, it was the alternator. It was a bad wire, fucked up the alternator. So the alternator needs replaced for $570. But the battery is fine. So thanks, AutoZone. So that's the day I've had. How about you? But like really, how about you? I see my car story drove away the one of 2 viewers. My day has been good. I made brownies and mini brownies, then rode my horse and chilled on the couch watching Luke Cage. I'm not gonna lie, that doesn't even sound real. Are you made up?
I wasn't listening.
Scarlet Fury made brownies, then made mini brownies, then rode her horse and chilled on the couch watching Luke Cage.
Doesn't sound real.
Cassie says, doesn't sound real. Congratulations, Scarlet Fury. You have been elevated to the status of... what's that say? Legend has it, Shane Zell is actually one of the lost Weasley children that escaped the ancient magic family to settle down as a writer nerd. I won't tell if you don't. Okay, another quick story. I made a mistake back when I think it was the Half-Blood Prince came out. And I accidentally actually, I think I have it. I wore this sweater to the premiere of Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince by accident. I got called Weasley so much, you have no idea. It was a really fun night because the movie theater back home was wasn't super ritzy. And as a side effect of this, when we sat down to watch the movie, we kind of stopped and we're like, do you smell pizza? And from 2 rows behind us, guys like, yeah, we snuck these in. They had 2 boxes of pizza. And, and they were wearing kilts. I don't know how any of this works, but, you know, I'm sitting there, I'm 18, like 17, 18 years old, and like, and the guy, I was like, that's so fucking cool. 2 dudes sitting in kilts with pizza about to watch Harry Potter midnight premiere. And he was like, yeah, you want a piece? You want a slice? I was like, fuck yeah. So, hey, you guys remember movie theaters? Those were wild, right? Also, I've completely missed everything Scarlet Fury said. Let me catch up. Okay, Mini Brownies, legend has it. I did get a letter from a bill collector for a $5 toll that I never got a bill for, so I had to pay $50 because of late fees. Eeeh. That's bullshit. So I needed some horse therapy. Sorry. Now my day is good. That's the perfect shirt. Okay. Epic, that's worth the price of admission. Harry Potter question, what happened to the Weasley cat? Wait. Did the Weasleys have a cat? Did the Weasleys have a cat?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. It's been a real long time. Many, many years later, he realized where that pizza was held, and it was haunted on his dreams ever since. What's the old Jack Harkness joke? Where were you hiding that? Doctor Who. Ladies, you really don't want to know. Oh. Just got a message from Scarlet Fury. Those are some nice nice brownies. Second movie, Ginny asks where Jumper is. Molly says it's on the cat, dear. That's true. Actually, I do remember that. Huh. Well, if not for all the turf stuff, I mean, now we really know J.K. Rowling is terrible. But mostly the turf stuff. Never spoken of again. I want that cat's adventures. Ugh. It's the cat the same way Hermione erased her family's memories, the cat erased the Weasley's memories and ran off with the Jumper, and had its own wild adventures. Why was there a Jumper on the cat? Someone remind me what is a Jumper in Britain? It's just a sweater. Okay. I'm not cultured enough to. I have a. That's what I want to know. Well, maybe it was. Alright, I got it. The cat was a hairless cat, and it was cold, and magic sweaters in Harry Potter are like magic armor in Dungeons and Dragons, where it magically fits whoever's attuning it. So the cat just attuned the sweater, the Jumper, to itself. There you go. And judging from the these Google pictures, probably looked fucking adorable doing it. Oh. Read me a story about a girl trying to get her sweater back from the family cat. Peter didn't like there being another pet, so he killed the cat, that monster. Oh, that got dark real fast. How big is that cat? No, the sweater magically fits, and need a story about trying to get a girl. You're just not gonna get the sweater back. That's the thing. Is like, once a cat claims ownership of something, it's just you're done. Believe me, I know. I deal with them all day. Something funny? You started this.
Yeah.
I obviously can't say it's Ginny, but we'll know it's Ginny. We all know it's Ginny. Wait, what did Ginny do? Did Ginny kill the cat? Again, this got real dark real fast. I came up with a scenario. No, the story. What? I'm lost. You guys are moving too fast for me. If it's the young cat, we'll only keep possession of the thing until another shiny thing shows up. Storm again, get away from my pizza. You read a story from... Wait, you just gave me a prompt? Look, I am... What's that old comic? This comic. POV from the POV of her watching the Madcap Adventures of the Weasley Cat. We need a story about a girl trying to get her sweater back from the family cat. Okay, but you gotta like prompt that. You gotta say prompt to prompt me to know it's a prompt. Like I'm prompting you right now to say that. But no, this comic I relate to very deeply. You should not have come here, human. Why do you cross through my domain? I was on my way to the kitchen for a snack and I got lost. You ended up in the 12th plane of torment on your way to the kitchen. I am not a clever man. So anyway. Alright. There you go. Your prompt is added. Guys, today was long. Day sucked. Anyways. And I have a fiance doing exercises in the background. How's it going? Great. It's going great. She cries because it makes her happy. That's why you stay with me, right?
I'm not really listening, so I don't know.
So, speaking of prompts, wait, see what's happening. Not all the wanderers lie, except for the lieutenant. The lieutenant has lost his flag. The lieutenant has hypothermia. That's where I would end up trying to find the aisle at Home Depot that has spray bottles. I get too shy to ask a third person what aisle they're in, so I keep looking until I end up in the third layer of hell. LOL. I didn't know that hell was contained inside the Home Depot, but alright. I thought the doors to hell were all in DMVs. And Walmart.
That's purgatory. You're there forever.
Oh, that's purgatory. No one at Home Depot knows where anything is. I feel like your dad knows where things are.
It's because he works there.
Well, yeah. I think that's what she's saying. Fiance's dad, father-in-law? Father-in-law and say. What are they to me? Are they nothing until like We are official?
Soon to be father-in-law?
Nah, that's too
I don't
easy.
know.
Purgatory is bus stops, DMVs, and laundromats. Ugh. Mood. As my hip Gen Z neighbors would say, big mood. I would know because they talked to me a couple of times and I felt so old. What are you laughing at? You're a year older than me.
Yeah, but I haven't talked to them, so I haven't had to deal with it.
You talked to them one night.
One night, they talked to you more.
Fine. So, Scarlet Fury, you just have to go to the DMV, not the DMV, the Home Depot, where my I'm going to go with father-in-law, say. Fiance, father-in-law. Father-in-law, say. You grok me, jive me, hearties! I get walked all over Home Depot trying to find the simplest thing. One person sends me aisle 4. Can't find what I'm looking for. Ask another person. No, that's an aisle 12B. Go to 12B. Nothing. Ask another person. End of aisle 6. Nothing. They just think you need cardio. It's good for the heart. I should probably start reading these prompts eventually. I haven't been paying attention to the time, but I think we've been going at this for a while. Oh. Man. Bus stops, DMVs, and laundromats. Jesus Christ. Don't ask the employees. They are already in hell. Ask the people who are walking with a focused air. They have been before and know how to get out. Scarlet Brew, you should go in there with you need like a sketch pad and a pith helmet and like just start drawing a map. If anyone asks that what you're doing, you're cartography. Never again shall I be lost in these wily aisles. Home Depot's not hell. It is the labyrinth of the gods. Careful. We already did the Minotaur story. Although I don't think I had a labyrinth in that one. But that was Scarlet Fury's story, so it all circles back around. It just goes to show we're not that creative. All right, I'm gonna take this. There's a lot. Okay, no, I have to know. Or I ask for heat tape, and they send me to duct tape. Then I ask someone else, and they say heat tape doesn't stick to things. And I say, I know, I need heat tape to keep my auto waterers from freezing over. And they say, yes, but it doesn't stick. And I say, I know, it heats things up. That's why I need it. And he says, because of course it's a him.
Don't die.
I'm dying.
Don't do it.
Oh Lord, here it comes! Where was I? Alright, we're just gonna do it in this voice, alright? I know, it heats things up, that's why I need it. And he says, let me show you where what you need is, and takes you to the tape. And you say, I need something to keep my auto waterer from freezing. Where is the heat tape? Prompt. Noir detective style story about a character stuck in Home Depot. Alright, well, let's just add that to the list. Oh, whoops. And I vaguely, I think we've had this discussion before. Is it tincture? Ginger. Don't mind me, my name is, I was just thinking about, oh man, Calvin and Hobbes. Actually, oh, where is he? Ugh. Fiance makes stuffies, and this was Hobbes a Christmas gift?
Yeah.
This was a Christmas gift many years ago. Just hang out, dude. Okay. So.
3 slugs of me. 2 of them are bourbon, plus from a 38 from a child gone bad. That works? And this is why I can't get what I need from Home Depot. No one knows that I know what I'm talking about and assume I'm confused when I'm not confused. Sobs, frustrated. Well, here's the thing you have to understand. You're a woman, and therefore you're always confused. Not really, but like, you know, that's the assumption. See, it's always fun whenever Cassie and I have to go somewhere because she's usually less confused than I am, so the guy will always start trying to talk to me. This happened at AutoZone. Same guy who told me my battery was dead, but my mechanic said he was wrong. But the guy, last time when we were dealing with Cassie's car, the guy at AutoZone was like trying to talk to me about it, and I was like smiling and nodding, just like, I have no earthly idea. Hey, Tanchi, how's it going? We're talking about gender stereotypes, I guess in the retail space. Because, yeah, no, she knows way more about cars than I do.
I don't know that much.
It's, okay, it's not hard to know more about cars than I do, but she still does it. Her dad works at a, Home Depot. Mine was a college English professor. So, found a comic about a goddess and her reincarnated priestess. Nice. Alright, I mean, it's kind of like... I was going to say, it's similar to your prompt. Like, it's in the same vein. But yeah, so they were trying to talk to me about her car, and I was just like, fuck, dude, I don't know. The vroom vroom machine not work. It broke. And... so I always have to, like, shunt them over to talk to her, because I don't know what's going on. I studied acting. I can talk about Shakespeare and not much else. Well, I can bullshit about a lot of things, but... I'm at home in the depot. I should start paying rent here for as long as I've been stuck in these aisles. I'm down to my last bottle of Lizard Aid that I smuggled in with a hip flask. Oh, there's more. When the dame in red walked past me with a sour look and a 2x4 bat, I should have walked away. That would be the smart thing to do, but I am not a smart man. I am Tracer Bullet. This happens with Dune Harper and I. They'll talk to him and he'll say, ask her. I'll answer and they'll respond to Dune Harper. Ask him another question. He'll tell them to ask me. And I am. And it's like I'm not there. Yeah, no, it's doubly weird when you, like, as the guy, when you're like, A, I have no idea what we're talking about. B, I'm telling you, I have no idea what we're talking about. Why do you insist on talking to me like I am not a peer in this situation? I am... I don't know. Cultural expectations of gender are fucking bonkers. Because nobody wins. That's the thing. Nobody's getting out of this scenario happy. It's like they think that I'll spontaneously, like, I guess maybe Dune Harper as well, though, I'll just spontaneously, like, understand, just, like, suddenly it'll click, the caveman brain will click in, and I'll be like, yeah, I understand how the I will intuit how the internal combustion engine works, based on osmosis and eyeballing it. I feel like the communications officer on Galaxy Quest. Look, I have one job on the ship, it's stupid, but I'm going to do it. Yeah. And you look lovely in that uniform. Blonde is definitely your color. Just gonna ignore that. I've literally helped build a car, or I'm the one who trains horses. He's barely touched them. I taught him how to drive a tractor, skid steer, manual car. Why won't you talk to me? Yeah, fuck it, let it out, man. This is. I had one wild summer as an adult entertainer. I learned that I do not have legs for it. That's okay. Damn, I think we found my biggest pet peeve. I mean, I'd be hard-pressed to find terribly many, like, capable women who that isn't a pet peeve for them. I'm secure enough in myself to admit that. Rock on! I mean, that's first step, right? So... just know, Scarlet Fury, that if I am ever doing that to you, I'm doing it very intentionally just to annoy you, because we have a brother-sister dynamic that honestly is probably a little, like, dangerous, because it's probably a little violent. We probably hurt each other eventually if there wasn't a mediator in the form of, like... I think, looking back on it, I think that's probably one of the funniest things about our trio with Dune Harper was the fact that he's so aggressive and you and I aren't, and he's kind of probably the most prideful, and I don't think you and I really are, but he was the one who had to be the moderator, the mediator between our bullshit. We have discovered a way to get under your skin. This will now escalate to Molotov cocktails and baseball bats. I mean, gosh, you're not wrong. I mean, yeah. High school was a long time ago. We were real dumb. But I have this deep-seated suspicion that if put in a room together, it wouldn't take long for us to just revert back to that. Didn't I chuck you in a pool once? I did do that. I think I got in trouble for that. Anyways, okay. Yeah, it was Taylor's pool. I think. It was pushed you in. Alright. So... and Dune Harper was not thrilled with... okay, I'm gonna read the prompts. I'm starting to see why other writers, like, her username has just completely escaped me. Coffee Quills? Why she has the 10-minute 10-minute timer to be like, all right, Coffee Quills, yeah. We're on our break, and now we're, on a sprint. Because if there are people in the chat and I don't have someone to stop me, I will just go. So... hello. I forgot to let Trilobit know that we are streaming. So, okay, here are the prompts that we've got today. We gained 2 of them just from bullshitting in the chat. So, here we go. Dune Harper gave us, a tiny man lives in secret within a normal, human-sized household. He dresses up like the various figurines set out by the old woman who owns the joint in order to remain unnoticed. He just wants to live his everyday, normal life as a secret tiny man. Atanshi gave us a vampire and their reincarnated lover. Don't know if Atanshi's still bouncing in the chat. Scarlet Fury gave us, there she was, 1 foot in the grave, and nothing on her but a matcha latte and avocado toast as she faced the zombie. Hey, Atashi. Then Scarlet Fury also gave us, we need a story about a girl trying to get her sweater back from the family cat. And Tincture gave us noir detective-style story about a character stuck in a Home Depot. She had the scent of cut particle board and old coffee. The red vest of the associate hung off her like a fallen flag of a defeated army. I stepped in her way and asked where the pushpin's in. If looks could kill, I would be pinned to the wall like a bug. I should have walked away, but I'm Tracer Bullet, so I ran. Man, okay. I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna tell a story. I let him know that we're streaming, but one of the guys who pops in occasionally, I think we did one of his prompts yesterday. It was a human who fails the Turing test. He and I have been friends for a really long time, but for a while we worked together. It was his project, but I helped him work on a radio show back in college called The Bearded Cabbie. And the first script I worked on was a noir detective story about, a guy with, it was a very tracer bullet name. It was like Gun Pistol, Terry Gun Pistol or something like that, And I walked into the recording studio, and I hadn't, this was the first one I worked on because I would just had a free hour, so I'd come hang out in the studio. And I walked in, and Trilobitten just looks up from the keyboard and goes, "Shane, I don't know how to end the script. Read this real fast." And so, we had under an hour. I had to finish reading this. I had to read the whole script, get to the end, and then help him figure out an ending during the commercial breaks. Because we were, making this shit up live from then on. But it ended up being, the setup was a girl had triggered a landslide to kill her boyfriend. And as a result of this, she admits this, and our harrowing detective is like, so you admit that you committed the murder? And she goes, "No, it's not murder." He goes, "But you definitely killed a person, so it is definitely murder." And she goes, "No, a landslide is considered an act of God. I can't be charged for murder." And that was the last line. And I was like, so he's turned to me and he's like, "I need an ending." I'm like, okay, I have an idea. You might not like it because we live in Utah. But my idea was the line, "An act of God. It goes all the way to the top." And then the narrator kicks in with, "Tune in next week for Tracer Gun Pistol to find God." And the last joke was, "Tell me where he is. Tell me where he is, Father. Oh God, he's in the hearts and minds of all of us. A conspiracy." So, there was a day where one of the guys in charge of the radio studio walked in while we were recording, and we were just like, "Oh shit, he actually turned on the radio and, listened to something we did. This is bad. We are about to be kicked out of here so hard." And he sits down, listens to us record, waits till we're done, and goes, "Have you guys been recording these sessions? Because you could send them off to competition." And we were like, "What? No? You can do that? We've just been bullshitting in here the whole semester." Because no one stopped us. We just started making fun of all the shit that was happening on campus. If there was a festival or, a production or a dance or anything, we would build the session around mocking it relentlessly. And this was weirdly successful. People kept "Hey, can you make fun of the thing we're doing?" I was like, "What? Alright." Oh God. There was a relaxation week leading up to finals, and our whole thing was we were gonna do extreme relaxation. Okay, I'll stop. I'm entertaining myself and reminiscing, and I was hoping I'd buy enough time that he might pop into chat, but alas. Talking about bearded cabbie. You missed out. So what story jumped out to me today? Because I should actually write something. I guess that's technically what I do here. Alright. I am kind of feeling this zombie one. The zombie one is jumping out at me. I don't question these things. I just... I think at this point, at this rate, Tincture is having way better luck writing a piece of flash fiction than I am. Okay, I want to read this, but I want to. I don't want to get sidetracked. But I'm excited to read this once this is done. Once I'm done on my end, I'll read what you're doing on your end. So as I'm writing this, I find myself wondering, Scarlet Fury, you liked Buffy, yeah? Buffy, you were a fan, I think, back in the day. Why is this draw so much fun to write? I don't know, but to be completely honest, I'm really sad that either Trilobitten or Dune Harper aren't here, because while I'm working on this, I guarantee you they'd be riffing off of everything you're doing right now. Because, I mean, Dune Harper loves, like, this is their jam. It'd be a lot of fun to watch you guys bounce off each other. Actually, I just thought, I was like, as soon as I finished saying that, I'm like, oh, I'm having that impulse that I used to have of like, oh, I want to take my college friends and my high school friends and put them in a room together and see what they do. Until I slowly, over many years, realized how poorly that always went. Because in my head, I'm like, they've got so much in common, they're going to love each other. And then they meet and they have so much in common, they hate each other. I'm like, oh no. Oh no. It's like being like, yes, Sherlock, you've got to meet my friend. This is James. You guys will you're so similar, you'll get along great. One Reichenbach falls later. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So, let's see how that turned out. I think I always feel like I have to say that because I very rarely reread as I'm writing. So I get to this point where, and I've got 6 viewers instead of the normal 2. So I feel a little more inclined to be like, okay, I don't actually know what I just did, and I don't know if it's good, and I'm a little self-conscious because I'm a lot self-conscious, and that's just how I live my life. I don't judge you, you don't judge me, except I do judge. I'm such a judgy bitch. I studied theater. I hung out with the actors because I was studying to be one, and now I'm here. Life is funny that way. So, this was Scarlet Fury's prompt. There she was, 1 foot in the grave, and nothing on her but a matcha latte and avocado toast, as Mary faced the zombie. As far as dates were concerned, this one was terrible. Not because it was at a graveyard, that part was her idea. No, the living dead hadn't been part of her romantic night out. Neither was Percy getting ripped apart by the zombie hordes. At least it wasn't as bad as her last breakup, Mary supposed. Still, she cursed herself for leaving the switchblade at home. It had made Percy uncomfortable. Sheesh. Bet he wished she had it. Bet he wished she had it now. Or he had. Or he would have if he hadn't been wishing his intestines were still inside his body. She assumed, at least. His screams hadn't been particularly coherent at that point. All she'd been left with was the drink Percy had bought her and the avocado toast she'd brought with her from when she'd left the house. Neither were terribly effective weapons. Unless her enemy was boomers everywhere, and she was a soldier fighting in the culture wars. Mary ducked out of the reach of the zombie's swiping, decayed hand, dropped her toast and drink, and did a back handspring, vaulting over the headstone. It wobbled, but held her weight as she landed. The zombie shambled to close the distance between them, and she grabbed its stringy arms and yanked it off balance. It fell forward, its jaw shattering on the headstone with a slick, wet slap and a crunch. One down, she thought, looking around the graveyard as the dead continued to rise. Definitely should have gone to a movie, she thought, grabbing... She's thinking a lot of things. Okay. Definitely should have gone to a movie. She grabbed her avocado toast and drank from the grass. The cup was empty and the toast was smudged with dirt. She frowned. Damn it! A nearby zombie moaned and reached for her. You ruined date night! She yelled before charging. The zombie never knew what hit it. Alright, there you go, Scarlet Fury. How'd that turn out for you? Definitely feels like Buffy. So here's the fun thing. Did you kind of pick up... did anybody in the chat pick up on the names of the 2 characters on their date? Mary and Percy. Eclipse Priestess. Hello, I'm new here. Hello, welcome. How are you doing? And welcome. Don't mind me, I get awkward whenever there's a new person in the chat. But yeah, did anybody know, or did anyone pick up on the Mary and Percy thing? Because if... Oh, sorry, I can't answer your question since I didn't hear all of it. No, that's fine. Run away, run away? I don't want to do cardio. Actually, running was always my favorite thing, but I fucked up my knee. Okay. I'm gonna... Well, I'll answer. I'm just gonna assume you 2 know each other? I don't know. The reason the characters are named this, is because of is Mary Shelley, who wrote Frankenstein, and her husband, Percy. And what I had heard, which is, did Mary Shelley actually lose her virginity to Percy on top of her mother's grave? And as this article goes on, honestly, maybe. It was Mary Shelley's birthday yesterday, and to celebrate her, let's pause for a moment to unpack one of the most frequently circulated stories about her, that she had sex for the first time on top of her own mother's grave with Percy Shelley. As sensational as this might sound, it isn't entirely apocryphal. It is a long-standing accepted hypothesis. There's also much deeper context for why a teenager writer would have lost her virginity in this location, beyond her possessing a cool morbidity that has crowned her the internet's favorite early 19th century goth. So, there you go, Scarlet Fury. You got Buffy the Vampire Slayer by way of Mary Shelley on a date at a graveyard to do unmentionable things. Take it how you will. Also, the fact that she references the Switchblade is a reference to the Midnight Pals on Twitter, which is it's a Twitter dedicated to what if horror writers, but the Midnight Society. So it'll Stephen King will for the I submit for the Midnight Society the tale of something scary happened in Maine, kind of thing. And it's one of my favorite Twitters. I can't get enough of it. So there you go. All right. Let me format that. So, yeah, I write. I do these flash pieces. So they're about. I do one-page stories. People, my friends, and a couple of people in the chat have thrown me different prompts. So I try to turn them into one-page stories. I usually do 2 a day, or 2 a day, 4 days a week, and not much else to it. Yeah. My God, am I bad at selling anything I do. I make it sound so dull. Anyways. Well, I do the thing. Like, I got a degree in acting. I should put that to use. Come in. I can't. I can't even. Not even for the fun of it. We have fun stories and great conversation. Yeah, the conversations are great. The stories, they only reach levels of fun. What brings you by? Just random, or? I'm still relatively new to Twitch, so I don't really know how any of this works. People seem to just arrive from the ether, and then they vanish back into the mist. Eclipse Priestess, do you write? I was looking for writing streams. I found your stream. Straightforward. Well, yeah, I do, like I said, these kind of one-page stories. Enter stage left. The orange beard steps in, thrusts his chest out, and declares, "Announce me." I don't write stories, but I do write roleplay stuff. Cool. So like tabletop roleplay. Yeah. And because it's sometimes it's hard to exactly say what I write on these streams because the prompts are so You went there, not me. Because the prompts are so all over the place. I have gotten to I've gotten to stretch as a writer and try new things and get out of my comfort zone so many times on this stream because I grew up reading a lot of fantasy and science fiction, a bit of horror, and that's kind of where I focus mainly. And not to say that that hasn't also been a big part of these stories and these prompts, because, you know, my friends and I share a lot of interests, but I've had so many prompts, so I'm just like, you know, let's go back to the beginning. What are some rando prompts that we've done? A streamer does writing prompts for his audience. One day he gets one that hits too close to home. I'm on websites that you can make original characters interact with people through writing. That's the kind of role. I do some OCs, but I write for canon characters. We don't judge unless you like Pepsi or cola, because we totally judge you for that. I don't know what you're talking about. I like Pepsi over cola. Also, no worries about typing slow. Even the people who type really fast on here, I think there's a bit of lag on my stream because my internet is the worst. So I'm always behind. I actually don't really like Coke or Pepsi. I mostly just drink root beer if I ever drink soda these days. Because I used to be... When I graduated college, I was 40 pounds lighter because suddenly my metabolism decided to just... what's the old saying? Go union and take a break. So... suddenly gained a bunch of weight and was like, oh no, I have to stop all the fun things I do. Do you drink Barks or the nasty stuff? I drink kind of anything, but I actually like mug root beer the best. Oh, so many hard truths coming out. Gonna have to do an apology video after this. Mug is the best. Oh no, Scarlet Fury and I. It's us. It's you and me against the world. And by the world, I mean Tincture. But yeah, no, Eclipse Priestess. These are all the prompts that we've done so far on the stream. Just here on the side, we've had. I mean, this one at the bottom was a wild one. It was a short film. Yeah, we're in the hundreds now. We do 8 a week, and we've been doing this since September, I think. But yeah, this one was, a friend sent me a short film that was supposed to have a secret, or not a secret, a sequel. Ugh. It was supposed to have a sequel, and that got canceled, so they asked me to write a sequel. I changed names so that I wouldn't get sued. Or, you know, Haunted Ugboot. That one was also a little wild. Yeah. So you never really know what you're going to get with this crowd. And mostly it's my friends throwing me prompts, and they are wildly creative. Scarlet Fury, who's been in the chat, she is... I haven't rechecked for the last, since Christmas, but she's, I think, given me the third largest, provided the third most prompts. I think she's 13 to 15, maybe. Of these prompts are just hers. So, yeah, here's one. Dragon lost in his cave trying to find his hoard. An angel convinces a demon to go good. What is the demon's first attempt at goodness? Does it work? Or the opposite, a demon convinces an angel to go evil. What's the angel's first deed? So, yeah. And, oh, actually, it looks like it got closed. Is it this one? If you're interested, I can throw you a link. I've been trying to... Oh, I'm so far behind. Oh, no, that's not good. If you're interested, though, I can throw you a link, because I have a bunch of these on my blog. Oh, no. So we're on story 115, and I haven't updated the blog since story 87. Oh, I'm really far behind. It's fine. I'm not very on top of things. Yeah, sure. I'm so far behind. You're welcome. So, Okay. Oh man, we still have to write another story. It's fine. Oh no. You're not behind. First place in lagging. So, yeah, Buddy was watching the Power Rangers ringtone. Our buddy was watching. That was Dune Harper was watching the stream and texting me at the same time. So my phone kept going off, and I had forgotten to put it on silent. And a few seconds, I was like, "Stop! Shut up!" And then a second later, in chat popped up that prompt, and I was like, "You son of a..." He can get away with it. He's my best friend. And if anybody asks, just remember, Dune Harper and I love each other more than Dune Harper and Scarlet Fury do. Just so you know. Our secret Canada is all their mountains are actually weremoose. He chose me. I left. You were all that was left. Like we covered yesterday, the reason he's with you is because you have girly parts. But I'm his soulmate. Keep doing that. Let's see. I want to try this. I try to leave new prompts for the next day. I try, unless it's something that like immediately I'm like, I know exactly what to do with this. So, we're going to do Dune Harper's. Since I just said he is my... Sorry, eh? This would not be the first time I was given a Canadian Mountie-related prompt. How many words do you write per story? I average about 325. So, yeah. So no, they're not long. They're very short. And some of them, that is actually one of the challenges. Weremoose or their secret police being called the Gestapo. I've also been given some weird werewolf-related stories. Mecha Wolf was one of the first prompts I was given. And it was probably the first time I wrote a story that I looked at and was just like, this is terrible, oh god. One day I might go back and edit some of these, but for right now I'm just kind of moving forward. this is one of those prompts. I think I said this the other day. Because I've been, I mean, for Eclipse Priestess, this is new. But I've been probably hitting up the same, like, 5 or 6 people for most of the prompts I've been given. Majority come from the same people, except for Tincture, who's been throwing me prompts all night. But for everyone else, it's been 5 months of me, you know, hey, do you guys have any sick prompts? You know, I need them juicy prompts. I'm kind of like a drug addict. Like, God, come on, guys, I need another hit, man. I'm down to like 2. At this point, they have all started throwing me just... I won't call them the bottom of the barrel, but definitely the back of the closet. That just like, what's this? This? Is it a prompt? Yeah, here, have this. And so I'm just getting weirder and weirder stuff. I am in the deep subconscious of prompts from most of these people. The people throwing me prompts have been lovely this entire time. Okay, Tincture says, I got into an argument earlier about who had the worst animals with a guy from Australia. Most people think the Aussies would own that game, but the moose and bison have some words to say about that. And those words are, I'm a moose, boy, before they kick you to death. How tall is this short man? How tall should he be? Okay. How about 5 inches? He's 5 inches. Don't mind me, I'm doing math. I definitely did that math wrong. Owen could respect that. Is it respect or is it fear? prom? Oh, I did it again. He was stuck in a house for a year with only a box of sociopathic cereal to keep him fed. How will he reason with the grains in time to not starve? Only time will tell in the next thrilling episode of The Serial Killer. The fact that I didn't see the pun coming kind of hurts me. Not the fact that you used it, the fact I didn't see it coming. Okay. After the Gestapo, you should have known what you were getting into. Yeah, no, totally. I take 100% like responsibility for that. 100% on me. All different. If you guys give me 1/2 sec to step away, I need to use the restroom. So I'll be right back. Alright, hey, I'm back. Oh, there's more from tincture. What do we got? Good stuff, you should have known what you were getting into. My name, that's a hard one. Your human tongue can't really pronounce it. Suffice to say, it translates to hot blood in the ice shelf. Don't look at me like that. It's a good family name. My father had it, and his father before. I'm a polar bear. If you're wondering about the big pause there, don't worry, it's natural. I was born with them. Oh god, I have to stop drinking gin. It makes my pun. Alright, well, while we're waiting on that, I'm not allowed to drink gin because it makes me talk in my sleep. Cassie, do you want to tell him what I used to say in my sleep? Or just the one time, I suppose?
Yeah. The main... There was two things he said. One of them was, the madmen, they were right. And the other was, Jurassic Park toys were better.
Jurassic Park toys are better. This was like in 2015 when Jurassic World was coming out, and I was just so disappointed. Makes me pun. Sorry, the big pause joke amused me. Oh god, the fact that you had to explain it too. Man, where is... Trilobitten, who never showed up. I texted. I let him know we were here. One time, I used to work at a bookshop, and I was inventorying a stack of Louis L'Amour novels, those really tiny westerns, and he made just one god-awful pun. I don't remember what it was, but I do remember that I took each book and hucked it at him one at a time as he tried to, like, catch them. He's like, no, not the merchandise! And I was like, no, you earned this. They can't fire me. The last time I ate smoked carp, I had the weirdest dream. My sister woke me up because I was thrashing and screaming about a waffle iron conspiracy. I love it. Now I want to know about the waffle iron conspiracy. This is the journey of the happy little photon. He doesn't travel with much. In fact, you could say he's traveling light. That reminds me, though. I won't play them because I got hit by copyright and stuff. But there's a band called Terra Lumina. I think. Yeah, there they are, still on SoundCloud. Collection of folk rock songs with themes including gravity, geology, photons, and the Doppler effect. A unique musical take on some of science's most amazing discoveries. I like them. If anyone's curious. Terra Lumina. Gosh. Looks like they haven't done anything in 9 years. Wow. Time! It flies, and I don't appreciate it. I've been listening to Abney Park myself. I don't think I know Abney Park. Steampunk band based in Seattle. Nice. I got them brought up. I'll check them out after the stream. Time flies like an arrow. Fruit flies like a banana. I don't know what I can say to wisdom like that. Where's The best part of their music is, in my opinion, End of Days, but there are so many great songs. I look forward to checking them out. I haven't listened to new music in a real long time. It's been a lot of Ninja Sex Party around here. And a lot of emo. I was like, what have I been listening to? It's like My Chemical Romance, Linkin Park. Yeah, no, we've just been in a middle school mood. Always a good choice. Yeah. I don't tend to listen to the radio. About once every 3 months I'll turn it on, and there's hyper obnoxious commercial for crazy Kevin Powell. Crazy Kevin Powell. And I just turn it off. I'd rather listen to the engine than that. I mean, I feel that. For 8-9 months of 2020, I ended up going to 2 different mechanics because my engine was making the most fun noise, just the funnest noises. It turned out that all the 7 out of 8 ignition coils needed to be replaced. One of them was just melted. So there were days where I'm like, I'm just going to turn the radio up, and ignore that noise. Ka-chunk, 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 ka-chunk. I'm sure it's supposed to sound like that. The mechanic, the second mechanic I took it to, literally was like, how do you drive this thing? I was like, I don't know, man. He's like, I took it around the block. This is bad. I have a lot of songs from more than a decade old that I keep in my system. I'll listen to that, but I can turn on Nightcore a lot and let that just fill in the background when I need something. I dig. I don't think I ever really listened to Nightcore. Okay, actually I have to ask, is Nightcore a genre or a band? Because if it's a genre, I don't think I've listened to it. And if it's a band, I definitely haven't listened to it. It's a band. Good job, Shane. You got me there. It's a type of remix. I never listened to a lot of electronica. I had a buddy who hung out on the stream early on, Kythus. I don't know if you were ever... I don't think you were ever around when he was on stream, but whatever. He listened to, like... I'm trying to remember. All I'm remembering is, like, in high school, he listened to In Flames and Disturbed and Hollywood Undead and Avenged Sevenfold. And then I got him into Dream Theater, because I grew up listening to a lot of classic rock and then, like, prog rock and prog metal. And then he switched over to kind of dubstep after high school. I'm trying to remember any of the band's names, though. Knife Party? Knife Party? Bonfire by Knife Party, Fire Hive by Knife Party, and what was that other band that he listened to so often? Pendulum. He listened to Pendulum. Those are the only two I really remember. I know there were a couple of others that he really liked. I don't know if that's at all in the same ballpark. Because I mostly grew up listening to... I grew up listening to prog rock and classic rock. And then, when I was 16, I got adopted into a big family. The music coming out today sucks in an unironic way. You know, it happens. Like, I like to tell myself, like, I listen to a little bit of Billie Eilish here and there, and I'm like, it's not really my thing. But I'm glad that kids today have, like, a weird off-brand musician that they can listen to, you know? Like, they have somebody that speaks to them. But, yeah, when I got adopted at 16, all of my siblings listened to, like, really wild and varied music. But it always had kind of a punk edge. So I ended up surrounded by a lot of punk and metal. And now, you know, I went to college so long ago, and I've been away. I don't really, my music tastes have kind of. I am not the target demographic, and I need to accept that. Yeah, I mean, I have this debate with my biological father fairly often, which is just like, are you a 16-year-old girl? Why do you care? Yes, I like... You know, with him, it's always like, yes, I like Alice Cooper too, but Alice Cooper is not the only thing out there. That's a fun story, and then I got to jump back in, or I should jump back into the story, but my fiance had only ever been to one musical artist's concert. Who was it that you went to see 3 times?
Ed Sheeran.
She had only ever been to an Ed Sheeran concert, and I took her to see Alice Cooper. A bit different.
A little bit. A little bit.
Just a little bit?
A little bit.
Was it the guillotine?
Perhaps.
Perhaps it was the guillotine.
Perhaps.
I care because it's getting to a point where I have to hear it when I pump gas. I'm so sorry for her. She had fun. Depends on what we're sorry for her about. Because she loved the Ed Sheeran concerts, and she had a lot of fun at the Alice Cooper concerts. And if 2020 hadn't happened, I'm sure we would have gotten around to going to see something else. But, so he had never been to a concert before, so I took him to see his favorite band. Got to meet them and chat. Well, Scarlet Fury, are you going to tell us who the favorite band is? I mean, I know, but, like, you guys send me pictures of the concert, so... Cars lined up the street, a procession for the thief. The men were restless and the women howled as they professed their grief. Oh, it's such a good fucking song. The last concert I went to was Disturbed and Slipknot about a decade ago. Slipknot. Now there's a name I've not heard in a long time. Oh my god, I'm old. Happens to the best of us, right? I had a buddy who just turned 36 and I yelled at him. It's like, you get back here. Get back in here in your 20s with the rest of us. I do get excited about good pots and pans, but I was excited about those when I was in my 20s. I haven't. So I'm 28. My birthday is this month though, so I'm almost 29. Late 20s, closing in, and I don't even know. The last decade has been. It's been a mess the whole time, so I don't even know where I land. I know for a fact that when I have to interact with, like, my neighbors are all, like, 18 years old, and I spent an evening chatting with them when they moved in, and I'm definitely not a kid anymore. I talk to guys, teenagers and kids in their early 20s, and I can tell I'm not one of them anymore. But I don't feel like an adult. And as far as I can tell, that's universal. Nobody really feels like they got that got their adult legs under them. Adult legs? It's like sea legs, but being for adulting. Sure, why not? But I can say that throughout the majority of my 20s, I was not terribly excited about pots and pans because I was still trying to just figure out how to not starve. First month of college, I had to call home and be like, okay, how do you do spaghetti? It was a tough time. The scariest moment of my last 2 decades was discovering that I had no clue what was going on and what I was doing, and that it was normal. How is this normal? We need to be trained on this. Yeah, but who's gonna train us? Nobody knows what's going on. You just said so. We're all in the same boat of confusion. Was this close? I couldn't remember the... Oh. I must have dreamed 1,000 dreams, been haunted by 1,000,000 screams. From This is what... Can't you see this is the land of confusion? Oh, I love that song. I love that song. I do think it is funny that there is in Land of Confusion the line "My generation will put it right" because shit ain't happening. Maybe we'll improve some things along the way, but I think that's a little presumptuous. There you go, copyright strike in 3, 2, 1. I don't think my singing is far too terrible. Right? Content IDs just like that poor bastard. Is he trying to sing? I sit across the table hiring people and realizing that I was there at one point and I have not advanced enough to be on this side of the table. I still space out and think about Batman. Why are you letting me be responsible for a house? I mean, truly, an evergreen thought. Whomst among us has not started thinking about Batman during an otherwise adult moment? Why should I hire you for this job? I can name every Robin who has ever existed. I actually, back in high school, I dated a girl whose dad didn't like me until one day, I don't remember what prompted it, but he made a reference and what happened to them. Touché. But he made a reference to James Bond or something, and I was just like... I knew all the actors who had played James Bond. I fucked up, though, and George Lazenby? I called George Lasley, I think, and he was like, wait, you know your Bonds pretty well for a, 15-year-old, and I was like... I think I was 16. But from then on, he really liked me. Even after she dumped me, he would run into me, and then he would tell me all the ways he was intimidating her new boyfriends, which I was like, I don't think this is healthy. He would drive up on the sidewalk in his big truck to try and scare kids, and he had to stop because he rolled over a kid's foot. So, it's fine. It's fine. Everyone was fine. I understood that reference, Captain America. The line that keeps on giving. I gotta crash. I have to wake up and do adult things tomorrow. Alright, man. Well, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out in the chat and kind of keeping things lively, right? Catch you next time. Have a good night. I'm gonna continue trying to think how to end this story. I have an idea for a line, but it's not clicking. How about put that there? And good luck with your adult things tomorrow. God. So I just realized, I just called the character Mr. Bill. Mr. Bill. Which, does anyone else remember Mr. Bill? Do you remember Mr. Bill?
What?
Mr. Bill?
Yes? The little play guy?
Yeah.
Just singing like smushed.
Yeah. Oh no, Mr. Bill! I remember when Cap said that, both you and Dune Harper looked at me because I would never get your references, and that was something I'd say if I got one. Yeah. Oh no, Mr. Bill! Anyways, alright. Okay. So, I fear that this story might have suffered a little bit for me being just so hella distracted. Hella distracted. Hella. We're bringing back a decade ago. Hella. Hella and totes, right? Okay, let's see how this turned out. Tiny Bill's house was very large. He did the math once and calculated that the ceiling was 22 times taller than he was, but at 5 inches tall, he supposed that didn't count for much. Still, Tiny Bill didn't ask for much, and he couldn't have asked for a nicer roommate, mostly because she didn't know he existed. He preferred to keep it that way. She decorated the house in dozens of, if not hundreds of figurines about his size, and all it took for him to move about the house freely was a change of clothes. He could fit in with her soldiers, her angels, her policemen, her firefighters. Tiny Bill had an entire wardrobe based on where in the house he was going. It had gone well until this day, when old Mrs. Bingaman rounded the corner at the pace of a shuffle, armed with an old and tired feather duster and a bottle of cleaner. Oh dear, little Bill thought, as she marched up to the shelf he had been making his way across. He froze, even though he knew he was wearing the absolute wrong outfit. He'd intended on making his way through the biblical figurines to the kitchen, but here he was in World War II. As he stood there frozen, a tiny bead of sweat rolling down his tiny forehead, Mrs. Bingaman began attacking them with the duster. She gave it her all. It was as vigorous an attack as the old woman could muster. And then she stopped, and her eyes focused from behind her Coke bottle glasses, focused on him. "You're not supposed to be here," she said with her wispy old voice. Before he could stop her, old Mrs. Bingaman scooped him into her hand. Little Bill froze as best as he could in her grip, trying to maintain his pose, trying to be a convincing figurine. His heart thundered in his chest, but there wasn't much he could do about that. He held his breath as Mrs. Bingaman shuffled across the room to a nearby shelf and plopped him down. "There you go," she said. He didn't move, waiting for her to turn around. The seconds dragged on, them staring at each other, his lungs burning. "You can carry on, William," she said finally, turning and walking away. Huh, he thought. I'm happy with it. So cute. Good. All right, guys. Well, okay. This is probably my longest stream, but so I think since Tincture had to crash, I think I'm going to read his impromptu. I've never had somebody throw me a prompt and then write the story themselves. Oh, I thought you wanted me to do that, but you've got it completely taken care of. You do not need me, sir. So, I will read his stuff probably off stream. But yeah. I think that turned out fairly well. I think today was a fairly successful stream. We had some new people in the chat. The chat was actually, like, going. No offense to Scarlet Fury. She does the best she can when it's just her. It's just one person trying to keep things going. And I appreciate her for it. So, alright. Well, guys, I'm kind of beat. It was a long day. Back and forth with AutoZone and car mechanics and so many stray cats today. Oh, actually, before I go, how about that? I'll end on. there's a picture. And I'll open the picture. And I'll show you guys the picture. Open a new tab. These are all the strays that we have been feeding and taking care of and just generally trying to do our best to keep alive. Except for the black one, who is in fact not a stray. He is just an outdoor cat who has figured out that our house has free food. And he's a turd.
He's a big old mooch.
He's a big old mooch, and he is kind of fat. But, so... in the top left we have Bug, and he managed to sneak in while the door was open and made himself quite at home on our bed. There's Pretty Lady, who is the most skittish and won't let me get close enough for a really good picture. There's Chunky Boy, who... he's chunky. And then Big Black, who is actually named Jagger. So there you go. Had a long stream, had some fun in the chat. Got some stories actually done in the in-between, and here you go. Here's your reward for sticking it out with me. Some cats. So. Alright, guys. I'm going to call it for the evening, and I will be back on Friday. I'll be back on Friday. So, hold on to that momentum for the next couple of days. And let's see if anyone's floating around online. I guess see if anyone I can raid. I can raid people. I can do that. I'm happening. I have 5 people in the audience, and I follow some other writer folk. So let's see. Okay. Looks like.
Done horribly, horribly. It's not morning.
No, that's wrong. Don't make noise. Alright, guys. I'm going to close this down, and then I'm going to raid another writer, another fantasy-esque writer, with red hair and a beard. So, stick around for half a second, and I will send you his way. So, let me close that, give it a second for anyone who wants to say any last thing in the chat, and then, yeah, I'll see you guys on Friday. That's all I have to say, that's all I have to write. Remember, no heroes in 2021. Sorry, I don't make the rules. They just, they can't deliver. It's just over and over again. We've seen. What can I do? It's out of my hands. My hands are tied. And see you guys.